Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you've landed on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I love to go searching for treasures in thrift stores, garage sales, auctions, wherever I can find them. And this season, this Christmas season, I have had so much fun creating for you all here in the channel, and we are winding down. We're almost to Christmas, and then I'm going to have to start thinking of something else. But right now, I cannot help but share these little shadow boxes, these little vignettes that I have been creating with all my Christmas finds, and I appreciate each and every one of you that stay and watch these videos, get inspiration to use your stash, use your stuff that you have to create with. So in today's video, this is like, I've got some kitchen items going on along with some vintage Christmas, and we always throw some new in there because why not? It's out there and it's a great filler, and there's beautiful decor in all the ages, from new to old to vintage. They're all absolutely beautiful. So I hope you enjoy today's video. So here we have a beautiful vintage sifter. Look at that black line on it, the detail, the black handle, and even the winder has black to tie it all in. It's just absolutely beautiful. Though there's some kind of a, I don't know what, seeds or something that somebody must have ground out, and I just really can't get them out. Okay, so what am I going to be putting in this? We have an old Santa, we have a gingerbread cookie cutter. What else can I fit in here? A bottle brush tree, and then I think I can do this spice container, and somehow I'm going to make it all fit. The way that this one's built, I think I'm going to go ahead and build up a good base using some of the Dollar Tree floral foam. Though it doesn't really fit like that, I'm going to have to cut it down. The nice thing about it is it cuts super easy. And I don't really want to see that floral foam, so I'm just going to use some of this dried grass moss to stick on top of it and fill in any of those other crevices. Now it's time to start building, and I kind of like the burlap on this Dollar Tree from the Dollar General, so I'm just going to take off the tag. I don't think that burlap bothers me in the least, and I love this, just this simple little tree. So we're just going to go ahead and figure out where I'm going to glue it, kind of do my dry placement first, and then see if the base needs to be flattened out or anything like that, but I think we're good to go. So just some hot glue on the bottom of it, and we'll get it glued in here. I always like to start off with my biggest items, my tree, and then this gingerbread cookie cutter that I have multiples of that I think he would look so cute just kind of hanging off to the side. I am amazed with what you can fit in these. So this Santa must have came off a floral arrangement. I'm now figuring out some of the Santas that I have. He's a little bit, well, he's a little bit worn, but he is perfect to fit into this. That perfectly imperfect. So then now I have my nutmeg spice container that we're going to fit in here. I might have to move Santa around a little bit so we can see some of the wording. Love how we can pack these full. It's amazing what you do when you give it a good base and some hot glue. The one thing that I cannot find enough of are little balls, just little ornaments. So if you see them out and about this year, you're waiting to make some of these next year, oh, pick them up throughout the whole season. I know I will, because they are perfect accents for these little displays. I just absolutely love them. So I was lucky enough to run across some that were at an auction, and you just, whatever color they are or what the color they're going to be, we will make it work. Somehow it all pulls together, even the bright green ball, even though the tree is not as green and the green on the spice is not as green, there's just something that ties it all together. I do think there needs to be something on the top of my spice container there, so I think I have this little deer. I don't want to be so overpowering that you don't see the gingerbread anymore, so this little deer that came from the mini section at the Hobby Lobby is perfect. So now that I've got all this, I'm just going to start packing any little space full as I possibly can. A bottle brush tree here, another ornament there, just making it look so super festive. Okay, there's one thing with small ornaments, but tiny ornaments are even harder to find. Oh, look at these littles that fit perfectly on the top of the spice next to the deer. just when you think you're done, well, you can still add some more. So I have this garland of little bells on some brown wire. I just think I want something trundling down onto the sifter itself. So I'm just going to fold over those wire ends so there's something to grab onto the edge of the sifter and get them hot glued in. But now that I put that element, I need to bring that element into my display. So I have a rusty crusty star that's going to go on the top, and it doesn't matter that it's a little bit oversized because you really want to draw your eye noticing that rusty crustiness. And now I do want to add another feature, probably another Santa, I'm thinking, because I love using these images out of this book. So I'm just going to pick one out. I have this older tag that I think I can put the Santa on. I'm just trying to match up what Santa will fit on it. The goal here is not to let my display look lopsided since I have the gingerbread hanging out the one side. I want something else hanging out the other side. I really have a couple different features going on here with the vintage Santa where you have that bright red. Then you kind of have the primitive rustic with the rusty crusty star and the bells, but somehow it all plays together. We even have that antique feature of the cookie cutter and the sifter itself. Okay, well, maybe not terribly like 100 years old antique, but you know what I'm saying. And then you got your new. That's why I said these you could add so much and somehow it all ties together beautifully. And to add a little bit of age to the outer edges of this tag, I'm just using some of the aging wax by Fusion. It's just a beautiful color. It's not like brown, it's not black. It's just an age. It just has wonderful aging. Now, because it's a wax, I really have to work it into this tag, but I really like the color, and I think if I just keep like rubbing on it and pushing it in there, I can get it to stay. You know, sometimes it just, like I could have just wiped it off at first if I didn't try very hard, but once it dries, it'll be on there. So now that I have that all balanced with something in the middle, something on both sides, I feel like I need to bring in some of those silver bells which match the cookie cutter, but I need to bring a few of those into the display itself. And then when I'm looking at my table, I'm like, oh, look at these pretty little snowflakes. I think we can tie those in with like the snowy that's on the bottle brush tree. See, I have my whole reasoning here of why I'm sticking elements in. Go ahead and add one more element of the rusty crusty stars in here, which plays with the garland, which plays with the brown deer, and then it just has like 4 little points of rusty crustiness. So I truly had so many ideas, so many items I wanted to make over this year, including this red wooden handled masher. Oh my gosh, I had to get it done. And then I have another one of those Santas on a pick. I love those little guys. I truly do look for the ones that are tattered and torn and need some work done to them, like his little felt pieces are coming off, but a little bit of hot glue. That perfectly imperfect that matches the age of the handle. It doesn't really matter. I don't mind that he shows age by any means. But for this little vignette, he does not need that stick in his rump. So we'll go ahead and pull that out. So now I need to come up with some type of base, because if I just glue him onto that metal part, I don't think it'll go well. But I do have this little tart tin that has some age to it, and though it's a tight fit, I think I can make it fit. Then even in this late of the season, I still have quite a few bottle brush trees in my stash, and I have no regrets whatsoever. I'm glad to have them when I get inspired to use them, though I'm going to go ahead and take this wooden base off of this. And then I'm also going to snip that wire so it's a little bit flatter. I need this bottle brush tree to be a little bit on the shorter side. It's right there, you know, it's a little bit taller, so it doesn't completely go underneath the handle, but I wanted to make it a little bit shorter by taking that base off. And then we'll go ahead and start gluing Santa in. Now Santa has one foot kind of up, so I have to glue it towards the back. And then after I get him glued in and he's kind of secure, I will glue the back of him to attach him to the tree. How cute is this? I could stop right where I'm at and it would still be super cute, but you know, I'm going to go on. So I'm going to add a few of the tiny, or the small, not tiny, small ornaments to this. And I do believe that there's a little bit more room that we can add a couple more of these tiny bottle brush trees. And then I also want to hide some of the glue at his feet, so I'm going to go ahead and add some of the silver barrels, just when you think, oh, it's much too full already. No, I think you can add a few more things in there. And then my last element is to give it just a simple ribbon, which, since he's holding a candy cane, I thought that this red and white string was very appropriate, though I'm going to like 4 times over it so it's a little bit on the thicker side. Just do a simple string knot and then create a bow on its own. It's not really a bowie type of string, but if you get multiple layers of it, it seems to work out. So now we have a tiny sifter, and instead of red, we have green. Oh, is it not so super cute? Something about small items just make it really cute. But I'm going to go ahead and stick some more of that floral foam in there. And at first I was like, I'll cut it down. I'm like, no, you know, floral foam is so easy to cut. I'm just like, I'm going to push it right in there to fill this right up. It kind of makes a little bit of a mess, but cutting it anyway does. So it's all about getting that nice secure base in there. I want to add a Santa feature in here, and this cup I purchased at Walmart, but I spray painted it with enamel white gloss paint. Love how it turned out. So now we're going to add a children's little hand beater along with this green spool. Now the spool is really just an element to hold up and securely. It's like the foundation, something to hold up that beater. And just like before, I have so many elements that I want to add in here, but just getting them all glued in place and kind of like a Jenga game, or, you know, building it up so it all stays in there together. I decided to move my beater onto the other side. Luckily, you know, hot glue will come off that floral foam if you really want it to. So I'm just kind of like, you know, I needed that good base to hold the cup before I got that glued in. It's all about just creating points where you can glue everything that it will touch to keep it together. Sometimes with those beaters, they're just kind of awkward because they're so cool on themselves, but they look so awkward sometimes when you add them into your display. So adding that feature to balance everything out, I'm adding a wooden spoon on the one side, and then I'm going to glue Santa with his green handle cookie cutter off to the side of the sifter. So no bottle brush trees on this display, but I am cutting up some of the greenery to hide, of course, the hot glue that you just need. You need it to hold stuff. So, and while it's still warm, I'm just going to press in some of the evergreen greenery and then just add it here and there in this display. And now that top of the spool needs something. It's kind of got some dead space. We got a hole right there. I have this vintage glass bulb and I like the visual interest, though it's not the complete silver, but sometimes it doesn't have to be an exact match, especially when you want to see that feature. I'm going to start adding in some other wood features, just trying to decide. I have these little bitty, older looking, they probably are old, I'm not sure. I am not an antique expert. I just love to, your eyes attracted to what your eyes attracted to, especially since that wooden spoon isn't really going to match anything else that I'm putting in here because I didn't have one that small. I need to add some of those wooden features to really tone that darkness down. And I love this little kid's masher, though I'm going to have it just hot glued hanging off to the side on the sifter's handle and kind of resting against Santa's cookie cutter knob. That'll kind of keep it in place. And then I feel like I need to add something to the back of this just to securely, like something to hold that ornament on a little bit, to hide a little bit more of that spool, to bring in another element of the older metal. So I'm just using this little tart tin just to hold everything in place. For me, I really couldn't envision putting any type of ribbon on here, though. I want to add like another little feature on top of the masher, kind of tie it in that your eye's not just drawn right to the masher. So I just cut out another one of the little Christmas images out of this book. I was trying to kind of stick with a kitchen theme here. So a cheese box, an old cheese box, is kind of kitcheny. It's food, but I love older boxes. The patina is always amazing. The graphics is always awesome if it's still there. And then sometimes, especially for what I need or what I want to do with this box, it's perfect because it's a little bit broken. If you're wondering how I'm going to fill this box up, because this is a larger cheese box, I have these beautiful plastic deer. I have this aged, a little bit bigger size Santa. We're going to keep that brokenness to the front because we're just going to hide it, accentuate it. And then I'm going to fill this up with some of the Dollar Tree Florifoam to have a good base. But where Santa's sitting, because he's tall, I switched the other one the other way so that he went in a little bit. But like I said, the ones that I'm picking up on purpose to put in these little vignettes are a little bit on the broken side. So he needs to have his pipe cleaner glued back down a little bit because it's really too loose. So I need something for my reindeer, I think, to rise be rose up on, because if I glue them in like that, by the time I fill this up, they're going to be hitting. So I have some of these aged box. I was kind of looking for ones with an S or ones with a C or something that had red on it. And look at, they're a perfect fit that they can rest on top of them. Now I really want to add some fun elements in with this display. So I haven't glued the reindeer on because I have a couple other elements on, like these candy cane trees. Oh, I love them, but I wanted to make sure that I had a space that I wasn't pushing on the reindeer too much to make them come unglued. And at first I thought I could just glue them on, but I'm like, I don't feel as if that's going to be secure enough. So I decided to cut down a dowel, glue the dowel inside the tree, and then attach it. I want to make sure that these elements aren't something that are going to be coming off. I have a whole bunch of red and white going on. I want to add some green. So I have some of these trees. I told you I'm not even going to tell you how many totes of bottle brush trees I have because you may judge me. But anyway, y'all. So I love the deep green of these because I don't know, it kind of ties in with those deer. And for these, you see, I left the wire. That way I could hot glue the wire and stick the wire right into that foam. So I still have a lot of the floral foam, the green from underneath that is showing, and I'm going to start adding some ornaments in. And look at how fun these littles are. Every time I would see an ornament in a little bitty bag for a couple bucks, it was in my hand. I was picking it up. Though I do need to backfill a little bit where I sunk Santa down a little bit so I have something to glue the ornaments on, that they're not just falling in. So the color palette can just shift so fast. I mean, you could go all red, you can go all green, you can go multiple colors. And then in one of the stashes that I have, one of the baggies, look at these little wire picks that are multiple little disco balls, I'm going to call them. The colors are just amazing, which tie in with those little bulbs that have those multiple colors in. It's just a nice, another added feature to tie it all in together. Though they were folded over, so somebody probably, like, I don't know if they were in a floral arrangement or on a tree, but I needed to straighten them out. So now I have some of these little light, what are they? They accentuate the little lights on your Christmas tree, but they're nice space fillers. So if I see those, always I will pick those up. And I don't want to use every one of my small little bulbs, ornaments, light covers to fill up that dead space. I don't want to add fake snow or glitter or anything. There's a lot already going on. I don't think it needs any more glitter. But in one of the bag of ornaments I picked up, they had these string of beads, and I'm like, well, sure, why not? So a lot of hot glue's going down, and then I'm just going to start stringing them along. And especially where that broken piece is on the front, I thought that would be a great accent to glue them wrapping around Santa and the tree. And my last element, just when you think, I have some dead space back there, I need to add something to it. So I have this S that was at Walmart that I picked up because I'm like, Santa, though has this little hanger on there that I'm going to have to twist off, but I need to glue something on the back of it to have it rise up and be tall enough to be seen behind Santa. So I'm just going to take this cake pop stick that is white that I actually use to paint ornaments, but I can put the painted side into the floral foam and just get this hot glued off to the side so that we can stick this in the floral foam. Now I have this oversized cup. Now it's not really enamelware, it's just painted to look. It's a thinner tin, but it's still a nice black and white cup. And it's going to take a lot of floral foam to fill this up. And if you realize, a lot of the pieces and parts, I am a gatherer. I just find things when I'm out and about. Dollar Tree, antique stores, thrift stores, estate sales, auctions, just anywhere I see them and I'm inspired and I'm like, oh, I could do something with that. So this is a Dollar Tree bottle brush tree. Is it not too cute? So there again, I'm going to go ahead and take the base off. That's just what I don't want to have to deal with painting the bases. They don't always fit into my design. So just a little bit of hot glue, leaving the wire on, and then I'm going to stick that right into the foam. So I have another one of the trees. I think they were from Walmart a few years ago, that are hollow. They're kind of like a clay. I just love the funness of those little trees. So I probably used it in my decor a few years ago. So now I need to rise it up. So I'm just using this candle holder wooden piece, flipping it upside down, gluing it in, and then that'll give this a nice base to sit on. It's like the perfect round to go inside of this tree. This one, I'm going to take some of this batting and I'm going to have it act like fake snow. So I'm just doing a thin layer just to cover up that green floral foam. Now Santa, if I would have glued him down onto the floral foam, it would have like covered up his little short legs that he's got going on. So I'm just going to use that same base that I took off the Dollar Tree store to give him a base to stand up on. That way, with his short little legs, he's a little bit on the taller side, and then I can tuck that little wooden base underneath that little clay tree a little bit, get it in there nice and secure. It's all about gluing all the items together to make sure that they stay in place. And I'm not really worried about seeing his wood round underneath him. I just needed that for height. And then because I'll start putting some of the smaller little mini and tiny ornaments to surround that base. Since I have a lot of little space to fill and I don't want to use up all my mini tiny ornaments, go ahead and cut some of these berries off these stems. I know y'all can tell that I just could not get enough of creating these this year. Oh, they were so much fun. I'm going to be so sad. I'll get over it because I'll just be on the hunt for looking for littles for next year to be able to create them. But yeah, now we're going to add a little bit of ribbon tying because that's such a large base. Just tying all the colors from the top into the bottom. We are getting so close to Christmas Day, and I promise you I will start creating some other content, but right now my inspiration, my mindset is just on creating with Christmas. Oh, I cannot help myself. So thanks again so much for watching today's video, and let me know down in the comments below, have you tried any of these? Because I've been sharing them a lot, I know, and I appreciate each and every one of you that have enjoyed this. So again, thank you for watching today's video, and as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you are new and you subscribed during this Christmas season because you loved what I was doing here on the channel, please give me a quick comment so I know to give you a shout out, give you a quick hi, and thank you all for coming and checking out what this channel is all about. And as always, if you're new to the channel and you stayed at the end of the video, you're not a subscriber of the channel yet, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye. And yeah, I saw my cat jump on my table. Did you see him? He's probably trying to figure out what I'm doing talking to myself. So again, thanks you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.